Hello, everyone. I am going to get started in just 1 minute. I'm so glad you're here. Make sure if you are able to put your cameras on because this is going to be one packed hour and I'm so excited to have Tristan be a part of this and you won't want to miss it. I'll want to make sure that you can take notes. And also, as always, we will have details shared out after the fact that you will be getting. So make sure you get in a place where you can take notes. You're not going to want to miss this amazing hour. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started because I want to honor everyone's time. I'm so glad you're here this afternoon. Thank you, Harshini. I'm really glad that you're here. I know in real estate, because I've had the opportunity to be a part of different people's real estate businesses for over 14 years. I know that you have so many different things that are competing with your time and you chose to be here with us today. And I know that you always have clients, that you have planning for dinner, if you are a parent, that you have lots of different things, taking care of your health, hopefully, and you chose to invest this hour, and I promise it's going to be amazing. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm Saundra Kandler, and we founded the Legacy Collaborative almost exactly a year ago. For those of you that are in the Charlotte market, we're actually going to be celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the Legacy Collaborative on March 19th. From 4 to 6 p.m. at Corkscrew in Kingsley, and we're so excited about that. And I know that you guys are excited about AI. Tristan is joining us today, and he's one of my dear friends from many years ago who is also co-founder of the Lab Coat Agents. And I'm going to talk for a few minutes, and then he'll jump on, and we will finish exactly 1 hour in. Also, I've had Angel, my literal angel, who's my assistant, create a notes page for you if you'd like to take notes on that, or feel free to take notes anywhere that you can take advantage of understanding what we cover today so that you can walk away and have a positive shift in your business from it. The market constantly shifts, and all of you know that the one common thing in real estate and life is change. And consumers are changing, the world is changing, technology is moving faster than most people ever expected. And now AI has entered the conversation in a real way and has for quite some time. So it's important to stay on top of what the best ways are to use AI to be more human with more people and give a 5-star experience for people in their business. And I know that if you're a part of this, that you care about creating an amazing experience from before people meet you in your business all the way through post-close experience, such that they always want to work with you and always refer more people to you. So really quick, this is going to be highly interactive if any of you know me. I would love for you to type in the chat on a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable do you feel using AI right now? So 1 being I keep hearing about it, but I rarely use it. 10 being I'm already using it in my business, and anywhere in between. All right, we have a 5, 4, 6, 4, 3. Okay. All right. So everyone here is using it in some capacity, yes? Well, I love seeing this because I'm noticing across the industry right now, there are actually 2 types of people. There are people that are curious enough to say, maybe this could actually help me, and they're being a leader in their thinking and being proactive with that. And then there are people who just try to stay away from it because it's too overwhelming and they don't really know exactly how to use it, except maybe for listing descriptions. I don't know if anyone can relate to that. But the agents who stay truly curious as everything evolves and continue to think about how do I create an amazing experience, stay in deep relationship with my people, and ensure that they continue to have the best possible result in partnering with my business, those are the ones that are going to continue to have more business into the future. As I've studied lots of real estate brokerages, individual agent businesses, and teams over the past couple of years, what I've discovered is most people who are complaining about the market being down are the people who are not relationship based. I actually see a couple of names on here that I know for a fact last year was their best year in real estate ever. And it's because their business model is high relationship based and it's transformational. Hi, Rhonda. Not transactional. So I want you to write that down. What are the ways right now that I can ensure the business I'm running continues to be transformational focused and not transactional? Because in the moments things are hard, and in the moments that you're unclear about things and you have uncertainty in your life or in the world or in your family, it's easy to slip in the direction of making it feel transactional. And I know that if you're a part of this today, that is not your intent. And having thinking time on your calendar consistently as a leader every single week is vital. I would just include that question in your thinking time every single week and think about how can I continue to make sure my business is transformational and not transactional. And I promise any slight adjustments you make to your existing systems, presentation, lead attraction, all of those are going to cause you to have more business. And they're going to cause you to be able to work with people that you love working with the most. For those of you who just joined, I'm so happy you're here, and Tristan will be joining us in a few minutes. We're gauging where everyone is right now in their desire and their current working with AI and how to think about it differently. A lot of my work is centered around a community called the Legacy Collaborative. That is the Facebook group all these events are in, and we do have 2 of them a month on Mondays from 12 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. Most people come into real estate because they want freedom. So whether you've been in the business for 30 or 40 years, or whether you just got started, which I don't really see a lot of people on here who just got started. Usually, if you think back to when you started, it was because you wanted freedom with your time, freedom financially, freedom to design a life that actually works for you instead of taking a lot out of you. And yet, what I would like for you to think about is, what did you want when you started it? I want you to type that. And then I want you to rate yourself, scale of 10, that's exactly how my life and business is designed right now, or 1, I've got some work to do to get back in alignment with why I got into this business. So for clarity, if it was freedom, and then how are you doing, scale of 1 to 10? If it was financial freedom, financial, scale of 1 to 10 currently. I want you to revisit why you got into this business and how you're doing on a scale of 1 to 10 in that. As you are typing those in the chat, awesome, thanks Melanie. As you are typing those in the chat, what I want you to see is, if you look at your other friends and your peers in the real estate industry, there are times that many of us slip out of alignment with what the reason is why we first got into the business, right? I've seen the pattern of people working late nights, people working weekends, people getting into that scarcity hustle mode instead of being really clear about living an intentional business and an intentional life. So that is the direction we're going to go in with this conversation today when Tristan joins us with AI, is how do we ensure your business actually is in alignment with the reason why you started it to begin with, and that your clients experience that version of you. In the Legacy Collaborative, which is just a collaboration and a community of people that choose to live their life and business and values alignment. And I'm grateful that we currently have about 13 countries represented in the Legacy Collaborative. We're at 672, which is a tiny community compared to Tristan's. And I'm so excited for everything that he has brought to the table for our industry for so long. And we focus on 4 things: purpose, why are you in this business to begin with? Partnership, and being intentional about who you choose to be in business with in every aspect, whether it is your brokerage, and we have several brokerages on here, whether it is your leadership, whether it's your lender partner, which we have lenders on here as well, whether it is your peer group that you take advice from and get energy from. Who are you listening to? Are you listening to people that are coming up with solutions and leaning into what's going to work into the future? Or are you paying attention to people that are always negative and are actually benefiting from you listening to them be negative, and you're allowing that to influence you and cause fear? The third one that we focus on is presence, because I'm a firm believer that you can be present with the people that matter most and have a great business. And when you're present with the people you serve as clients, you actually get to do business with more people you love doing business with. And the fourth one is profit. And profit is last intentionally, because when you get the other 3 right, being clear on your purpose, clear on your partnerships, and intentional about selecting your partnerships, and that you are present with your clients and your family, the profit comes, and the profit comes in a way that is healthy for everything else, and it's sustainable. So out of those 4 categories, before Tristan gets on, I just want you to share, out of being clear on your purpose or revisiting it, revisiting if your partnerships are currently in alignment with where you're going with your business, being more present with your family and with your clients so that you're just not rushing and hustling everywhere, and your profit, which of those 4 is most important for you to improve in 2026? Purpose, partnership, presence, or profit? And I need everyone that is not driving to share that answer so we can make sure that what we talk about is most important for you today. Profit. Okay. And lots of people got into this business for freedom. Profit. That is the common answer. Purpose and profit. Love that, Harshini. Okay. Remember, partnership is realizing that nobody builds something meaningful alone. It doesn't matter if you have a highly profitable individual agent business, if you have a team, if you run an office, if you are a lender, if you run a real estate associated business that is not any of the ones I just mentioned. remember that when we lean into other people that are like-minded, it causes anything to be possible. And in the moments where things seem hard, it's because we're thinking about what can we personally do on our own. So be on purpose this year of choosing your mentors that you learn from, which I'm sure that's why you showed up today. Choose the people you collaborate with. Choose the relationships that open doors and that you can open doors for. Because what I know is when you showed up today, whether you already knew me, whether you already knew Tristan or knew neither of us and just heard that one or both of us are awesome. You came here today because you care about surrounding yourself with people that have great energy, care about each other, like to lock arms, and build a future together, specifically in the real estate industry. And I'm so glad you're here. So, without further ado, I do want to introduce my amazing friend who just joined us, Tristan. And we're just so glad that you're here today, Tristan. We've talked about the 4 categories of focus that we focus on in the Legacy Collaborative of purpose, partnership, being present with your clients and your family, and also having profit because you have the first 3 in alignment. And I know that that's something that you have stood for a very long time. And I'm so glad that you're here about this conversation around AI to help with those.
I love that. I love those 4. That's great.
Yeah. Well, thank
How
you
are
for
you
being
doing
here.
today?
I'm good. I'm good. We had some different things to navigate this morning, and I'm so grateful to be here with everyone.
Thanks. I see Sean on the screen. What's up, Sean?
How's it going, Tristan? Good to see you, brother.
Nice to see you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on and everybody else. All
Yeah.
right. You guys ready?
Yes, we are.
All right. It's this is recorded, right?
It is recorded.
All right, perfect. It'll be sent out to everybody. If you want me to repeat anything, please let me know. Sometimes I move a little fast, so I'm also watching the chat. So just go ahead and say, hey, can you repeat that? Slow down. What was that? Use the chat as much as you can. I'm going to go through AI, but I'm primarily going to showcase Claude. And you can go to ChatGPT, you can go to Gemini. Perplexity's pretty good. Perplexity Computer is amazing, but it's $200 a month, and you eat up the credits pretty fast. For me, Perplexity Computer is the one that dominates, but it's also the newest. So you can have Claude, Claude Code, Claude Cowork, all of that. And today I want to focus on one thing primarily. And I want to start by showing you the most visited websites in the world. And we're going to go to Wiki, and I'm going to share my screen with you just so you can see what those are. It's almost like a reminder, or maybe it's a big aha for you. But if we take a look at the most visited websites in the world, Google, YouTube, Facebook are number 1, 2, and 3. And in the United States, it's the exact same order for the first 3. Now, in the US, Instagram is number 5, and ChatGPT is a little lower, and so is X. But you look in the world in general, Google, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, and Reddit, 5 out of the top 7 are social. And you've got to stop right there and think, well, why? Because your job in whatever field you're in, your job is to connect with people that you want to connect with that can connect back with you. Who's your audience, right? And if people are online, if they're on social, we're always taught to go where people are. Where are they? And we sometimes do the opposite. We don't go to where people are. And then you wonder why you're struggling for business, or you're struggling to grow or scale. And so I want you to use social. I want you to use Google better, but I want you to leverage AI because you have this window, small window, where you can start creating content so that you can attract people based on AEO and GEO. Because the way that Google works now, more than before, only because when you Google almost anything at the very top of Google, it'll give you an AI overview. They're trying to hedge the fact that you go to ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini to get your answers now because they're more direct. And so you look, let me go back really quick and then we'll get into the details. You look at number 5, ChatGPT, but you can scroll down to number 16 out of nowhere. It broke the top 20. It's going to break the top 10. And maybe ChatGPT falls off a little bit and we start seeing Claude over here. I don't even know if Claude's in the top 50 or not. It doesn't look like it as of right now. So you've got to start thinking, what is my next step? Well, your next step is to show up more. Not only to show up more on social, but to show up more on how people are searching for things. And that's what I'm going to take you through right now. So right now, I want you to start thinking, who do I want to target? What area are you in? What do you normally talk about in that area? Is it about community? Is it about things to do in the area? Is it about different tracks? Is it about specific cities? I don't know. But you've got to figure it out because I'm about to show you how to use that idea on that target audience and show up routinely over a very long period of time. So what I want you to do is start off on your social. I'm going to go to Claude. Remember, you can use ChatGPT, you can use Perplexity, and you can use Gemini. Grok's okay, but um, not for this. The reason I start with Claude is because you're able to have projects. Now, you have projects too. Let me open up ChatGPT. You have projects as well on ChatGPT, but here are the projects. I can go ahead and start a new project here, and I'm going to name it for me because let's say I want to do this in my area. I want to go to Malibu. So Malibu, I'm going to go with blogging, just blogging. That's what I'm going to name it. Now I have a whole project for this. Now I want to do the same thing with Claude. And I'm going to go to the left. Let me open this up. I'm going to go to projects and I'm going to create a new project called same thing, just to keep it in the same idea. What am I trying to achieve? Well, I'm trying to show up more on Google. I want to show up more on Google and on ChatGPT and on Gemini. Because remember ChatGPT, Gemini, top 20, Google's number one, right? That's not even including social, which we'll get there. Now I want to create this project, but you notice on the right, I have instructions. I need for it to show up a certain way. And this is going to be key right there because there's a piece here that I don't want you to recreate every time. Because one of the things that you're doing every time when you go to ChatGPT, I feel like a lot of you are going here to new chat and you're starting all over every single time. It's like, you know what? Create a blog. I'm a real estate agent. I'm a real estate agent, and I want a blog about blah, 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 blah. And this is what you're doing every time. You're getting slightly different answers, slightly different results. I don't want you to do that. So in the project that I just created, I want to give it instructions so that every time I show up, it's going to give me a very similar result that I know will work. But first, I need to create the instructions and I need to create a separate thing that's specific to Claude and Perplexity. It's called skills. Skills are like tools. Skills are like if I go to Saundra and she tells me, well, Tristan, I speak French, I speak Italian. I'm like, wow, okay, got it. You have a skill of speaking French, you have a skill of speaking Italian. That's a skill. If she's also a coder, I'm like, okay, good. I love vibe coding. I'm going to go, great. Good job on vibe coding, Saundra. That's a skill. There's a specific skill. Now, Claude, you can upload skills to it that you can find online. Claude has its own skills, which I'll show you. But for this, I need a specific skill set so that it can blog the way I want it to based on AEO and GEO. So I'm going to open up a brand new window and I'm going to come back to this one right after I'm done. So here I'm going to just say, well, let's see, I want to build instructions so that every time I populate an article or I have an idea, it creates something for me and it does it the right way. So I'm going to say create instructions. We're going to do two things. Number one is instructions for the project. Create instructions for a project where I am blogging to show up better in Malibu, California, whether it's an article I give you or an idea of what to create a blog on. It doesn't matter. I want you to give me a full blog with natural language, no AI phrases. And if you misspell things, that don't worry about it. No AI phrases, no AI common language. Use my tone. At this point, it knows my tone, right? Use my tone and make sure that it's optimized for AEO and GEO. That's what we're going to start with, okay? Now let me grab that and let me put it into the chat for you. It's in the chat. Now, as it's developing this, it knows, number one, right here, you see that? Now, fortunately for you, it's also reading a skill I have. I created a skill and I'm going to show you how to create that. But you see where it says reading the existing Substack SEO optimization skill. It's reading a skill that I created on teaching it how to do better SEO. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. But first, I want it to populate instructions for me because what I'm going to do is once the instructions are set, I'm putting it into this project because I want to show up better consistently without having to do a lot of work. Now, I'm over here waiting. I'm going to open up a brand new window. Now I'm going to go on the left again. You see all these different options I have? I'm going to go to customize. And in customize, it's really only going to give me two choices, skills and connectors. Now, I want a new skill. I want this skill to be, you're going to be the most brilliant SEO guy that helps me show up better on AEO and GEO. That's the skill. Because if I click on skill, it also has examples. It has a great example on Canva design. It has a great example on a web artifact builder because it builds websites. It even has one for brand guidelines, which is really good. Now, I want to create a brand new one as this is populating because it's going to take a little bit. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to create one with Claude because I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how to create a skill. It's my first time. So let's create it together. Let's create a skill together using your skill creator skill. First, ask me what the skill should do. All right. Well, let's do this together. And listen, anytime you're stuck, AI is to the point where you can ask it questions and it can guide you through the whole thing. If you're like, I don't know what to do next, it'll be like, don't worry about it. I got you. Here's what you do next. So let's play that game. I want to create a skill so that I show up better on AEO. Notice the natural language too. I'm not typing this up like I'm an engineer professor. It's super natural language. So don't overthink it. I want to create a skill so that I show up better on AEO and GEO. Where do I start? Now it's going to be like, hold on, let me think about this. Let's see what the answer is. Great question, Tristan. Thank you. Thank you so much. You've already got a solid foundation with your Substack SEO skill, but we don't want to use that. But it sounds like you want to go broader. Yes, I do. Making sure you, as an entity, not as individual articles, show up on AI engines, answer questions about real estate, blah, 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 all this stuff. Okay, here's where you can start where the opportunity is. So it's referencing a skill I already have. I already uploaded and created, but it's going to give me options. Option A, cross-platform content optimizer. This skill takes any content, right? It doesn't matter. And it creates whatever I need from it. Or option B, entity authority builder. Do I want to build it for me specifically, like my name, my brand? Or C, do I want to just expand the skill that I already have, right? Well, if we scroll down, let me just move my camera. If we scroll down here, these are the options. So it's guiding me. It knows that I need help. It's giving me choices. Well, I think I like the cross-platform content optimizer. I'm going to go with that one. It's like choose your own adventure. I love this. So anytime you get lost, just ask it, hey, I'm lost. Can you slow down? Can you show me? And if you've got Claude on your computer, Claude Cowork, not only can it show you, it'll take your computer over and do it for you. So, there's that. It just takes a little while. You just have to be patient. Which content type should this skill cover? For me, I shoot every day big news in real estate today scripts, so not that. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, landing pages and websites, coaching material. I'm going to go with landing pages and websites. That's where this is all going to live. Should the skill replace your Substack skill? For today, sure, replace it, just for fun. Optimization notes I apply manually. What's the main output? Ready to paste optimized content blocks, full rewrite of the content with AEO baked in. I like that one. And anytime you're like, well, what the hell is that? Just tell it, what the hell is that? I don't understand it. And it'll tell you, it's like, oh, sorry, let me rephrase that. So now it's saying, interesting, landing pages and websites are for AEO as the most. So I'm going to create these landing pages and websites. But if I'm like, you know what, you're going the wrong way, no. No, I want to create articles that will be posted to my website or to my website blog or to Substack. And as it's developing this, I'll show you what Substack is. If you haven't been on Substack, let me see if I can show you so you can see what this looks like. Perfect. Okay. For those of you not on Substack, Substack's the newest social platform. It started mainly a place where you can write, so blog type newsletters. But over the last few months, it's now grown into being a full on social platform. So, like you see, I can follow people here. I can follow Steve Wozniak. I can subscribe. I can pay. But more importantly, on the left, if I create, here are the options I have to create. Note, which just means a little post. Article, which is what we're creating. Video, like on YouTube. Podcast, full on audio, or live. Go directly. Now, the difference is this. Everybody that subscribes, you can export. You own their email, their name, and everything. A full-on newsletter for you, and it's free. You don't have to go to MailChimp. You don't have to go to all these places. And they start showing your content like social media. So this is a big one. If you're not on there, please jump on, start exploring, start taking a look at what this looks like. I'm going to close that one out. All right. Now, we're going back and we're saying, no, I want to create articles that'll be posted on my website or blog, right? And I misspelled Substack, but they got it. All right, is that right? A skill that writes full articles, not just optimizes existing ones with AEO. Yes, you got that. That's exactly what I want. What kind of articles, Tristan? Well, I don't know. I want to go a different route. I want to create articles about the community. I want to create articles about what's happening locally, right? I want to create articles about the community and about things to do here.
Tristan,
Yeah, shoot.
someone has a question if you think Substack is like Active Rain.
It is, but it's like Active Rain was like a 2-month-old. Substack is like a 25-year-old PhD. Great question. What happens to the existing Substack SEO, Tristan? Keep it separate now. Remember I said don't before? Now let's keep it separate. So now it's developing this amazing. Now we're going to go back to the other one. Now, over here, we asked it to create instructions so we can copy paste it into the project. Now I'm going to assume it's all awesome. Now, that's a lot of instructions, damn. All right, I'm going to copy paste it. Normally, I would take time to review it, make sure that I do agree with it, especially with voice, right? And also at the bottom, I say, hey, just keep going until you get it right. So check yourself, verify yourself. I didn't add that. So I'm going to go back to Claude, the Malibu blogging. I'm going to open up instructions, and I'm just going to copy paste it in there. And I'm going to save the instructions. Now, literally, I can type in anything there and it'll start doing it every single time. I just created the shortcut. Now I don't have to think about all that crap every single time. But I want to enhance it. I want it to be so much better. And that's why I'm creating this skill. And that's why it's taking time, right? It wants to do a really good job for me because it's getting specific. What types of community content will you create most often? Well, let me think. It's Malibu. So I already know it's going to be outdoor activity and hikes and local events and families. There aren't very many restaurants in Malibu, but we're going to choose all of them. What areas should this cover? Well, it should cover, Malibu's pretty close to all of these. So I'm going to go with this, which was, by the way, Malibu, Beverly Hills, Calabasas, Westlake, all those. Pure community guides, subtle real estate connection. I like the subtle real estate connection. Let's try that. Let's see what it gives us. I think now we've got enough questions we've answered for it that it will create it. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah, it's creating the skill directory. Perfect. So now what it's going to produce is, in essence, it's going to produce a note document, just a simple doc. And with that, it's going to give it to me at the bottom, and I'm going to download it to my computer. And once it's in my computer, I'm going to upload it as a skill to Claude, and I'll show you how to do that. And remember, this is recorded, so you can slow it down. So now let's go back to this. The skill, the instructions, the instructions are done. I can close this one down. Over here, here are the instructions. And listen, everything I create here is going to stack down. So I can always look back right here. And on top of that, any files I wanted to reference, it can always reference them there. That means it's going to get smarter. And this is why I'm creating a skill, so that the skill can be tapped in anywhere on Claude. I just have to type in skill. And in some cases, it'll just detect it. Be like, oh, it looks like you need this skill right now. I'm like, yeah, I do. Thank you. So let's go back and see where we're at with skills. Skill creation takes about 3 to 5 minutes. So let's go back here. In the meantime, I'm going to show you projects.
Tristan, Melanie had a question.
I just noticed that you said you were waiting on it to determine when the skill is generated. So my question was just around, is it just knows to keep asking you questions till it has enough? Or like, is that what it does each time for the skill?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And then even after you create it and you run the skill and it doesn't come out like you wanted, you can change it up too.
Okay.
So yeah, but that's it. That's why I went through that process to ask it questions so that you could see how it guides you through the whole process. That's how it's designed. Let's go back to Claude. So you see I have projects. I already have one for Substack. I have one for what I do daily. I have one for headlines. I have one for teleprompter script, right? And I have one for a different thing on TikTok that I do. Right. This is my personal one. We've got a business one that we run through everything as well. But for what you're doing now, you need to create a project for creating daily blogs. And it's going to be easy. Here's the skill. Perfect. All right. You see at the top, it's calling it the local community writer skill. That's what it's calling it. So if I go on the right side of my screen, on the left side of my screen, all the way down, there's the skill. All I need to do from here is download it. And I'm going to name it whatever it is. I like the local community writer. I like that name. I'm going to save it. And now I'm going to upload it. I'm going to go back to Claude, go on the left and customize, go to skill, or actually, this is probably the easiest way. Go to skill and then just click on the little plus button. So I'm going to click on the plus button and I'm going to upload the skill. And then I'm going to just upload it. There it is. And it's uploading. As soon as it's uploaded, it's going to showcase it to me. It's called the local community writer. It's ready to go. Here it is. Now I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to start a brand new, let's go to projects. I'm going to go to the Malibu blogging one. Now I'm going to go to Google. What's going on in Malibu today? This weekend. So look, Malibu, there's not a lot. It's a pretty dead town. It's just a lot of beaches. Okay. But there aren't very many things to do, believe it or not. So I can scroll through this and probably not find very much to do. I'm going to find Malibu News instead. Malibu News. And there's a great newspaper called the Malibu Times. And I can grab a lot of different things from here. Whether it's, and this will probably give me a lot of great views because I can create a lot from it. But let's see what else we've got here. Kamala Harris moving to that. You know what? That actually might do very well on social. So let's just grab this one. All right, I have a couple of options, not a lot to deal with. Look at this. That's tiny. So I could probably expand on that. Maybe I can grab some information from the internet. I don't know, but let's see what happens when I type it in there. All right. I'm going to literally just drop that in there. I could drop the link too, but I'm just going to drop and see what happens. Now, I didn't even call the skill on this one. That means I didn't say, hey, remember that skill I just uploaded? The writer skill? Reading the local community writer skill. It's doing it automatically because it knows. But that right there is an important piece that we miss because now it's trained to show up like the person I want it to show up as because it's going to give me better results. Now, I don't know what it's going to come up with, but damn, it's looking through a lot of different things. And I know exactly how it's going to give it to me because there's an exact output that AEO and GEO has. And I'll go through it with you so you can see, and then I'll show you what I do with this content after so that you can see that you're not done yet. What we end up doing, unfortunately, most of the time is when we create one piece of content, let me look at you for a second. When we create one piece of content, we think we're done. And we're like, good job, Tristan. I'm like, no, terrible job, Tristan. You just missed like 20 other things that you could do. All right. So what you want to do is you want to say, well, and if you get stuck, ask your second brain, Claude, or your third brain, ChatGPT. But the point is, Tristan, you just made a blog about Kamala Harris moving to Malibu. What else can I do with that? Well, you could probably do a headline from that and just type it into Facebook because Facebook loves written headlines. Crazy. You get thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of views from a headline, just words. Now, from that, you can also, and I'm going to show you how to do that, you can also create a 60-second video from this. You can also create a super short story, 10 seconds, right? You can also throw that into Substack if you don't want to throw it into multiple blogs. And then that's not even including LinkedIn, Instagram, longer video on YouTube, Facebook and everywhere else. But there's a lot you can do with this. And the other one that'll probably get you the most views is a graphic. A graphic that has a headline, just like I told you to throw in on Facebook, because those, let me just show you while it's populating, because this one will probably take another couple minutes. Let me show you on Instagram. Here, let's see here, because I want you to start thinking, what else can I do besides the one thing that I'm doing? A lot of the times we don't give ourselves the opportunity to grow into the things that we can be doing because we think we're done. I want to push you. I want you to do more, because we take a look at this one graphic that I created. This is all AI generated based off of a Wall Street Journal article. So we take a look at this. I posted this last week. Wall Street Journal, a full-on article. I just had Claude shorten this up and I revised it a little bit. I didn't remove the M dashes, but I did quote the Wall Street Journal. And then I take a look at these insights, and then that had almost 2 million views. What do we got? Accounts reached. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Shares. 20,072. Just go. I can't even read. 20,000 shares. Okay. 13,000 likes. 2,000 saves. And that's just here on Instagram. I also posted just the headline with no graphic to Facebook. And then I just let it go and it went crazy as well. And you'll watch me do this every day. And I'm just providing news that's relevant to real estate, because that's what I do. Real estate news.
Can I ask a question? Sorry. So you did all this to generate the content. Where did you create your graphics and content? Are you doing that in Canva? Are you doing that like through Reels and another program? Yeah.
I do a combination of things. The easiest thing you can do is go to Canva and create a template right now. But I can tell you, here, I'll show you on my screen. I have templates on Canva. Here you go. Just scroll down. It's a template.
Yeah. Okay.
But I go to Perplexity Computer and I just let me see which one I can do for you, because I did one just to test it out last week. I don't think it was this one. I think it was that one. Perfect. It created that on its own. And so, I mean, we're to the point, I just had to bring it over. It couldn't get this logo right, but we're peaking. We're almost there to a full-on AI marketing assistant where it's already nuts what Perplexity Computer can do.
And did it pull that template from Canva, or it would create it?
It pulled it. Okay. It pulled it from Canva. What you want to do is give it examples this morning. I gave it an example of my site. I gave it links, and it then created this landing page for me for our coaching. And it did this in about 15 minutes, and I can then host it wherever I want to host it. If I click on this is the challenge we're running, but it already created all the details for me. It's hosting it on Perplexity Computer, but the ability for it to create this in an instant, I mean, it changes the way people do business, right? So now let's go back to, let me see if I can find the right one. Harris, is this the right one? Yeah, it is. All right, here's where it populated. It created a lot. Oh, it did much more than I thought it would. Interesting. All right, so it's giving me some insights, metadata. Former vice president. So I'm going to take you through what AI looks for, meaning ChatGPT, Gemini, when it populates things, because we've been studying it for a while and we've watched the changes. Number one, it needs a strong title, a headline. Great, it got one. Number two, it needs a summary, which is nuts. Like, I'm going to just show you Housing Wire's on it. And they're not one of my clients, but you could take a look at Housing Wire, and every single one of Housing Wire's articles, guess what they have at the top? An AI summary. Why? Because they understand how this works. You go through all of the top, not all of them, most of the top news sites, and they've learned to outline it correctly so AEO grabs them. Let me go back to the Kamala Harris thing. Now, it wants to identify who I am because it's really important, because that's what drives authority. But I'm not going to do that because I already have that on my website. So I'm not going to double do it. But you look at, again, go to Housing Wire at the very top, it tells you the author. And they didn't have that before. It used to be at the bottom. Now, again, bullet points, because they love quick grabs. They crawl through and they want to know what is this about and what is this about with bullet points. And now it gets into it. Headline with a question, answer. That's how it loves it. Headline with a question, answer. And I love that it decided to do this. Like, look at the skill that we built. Who else lives in Point Doom? I actually wouldn't have even thought to say Point Doom. That's really specific, right? But Point Doom, that's like Barbara Streisand. That's like all of the amazing people out here. And I didn't even think to do that. But now it's using the names for Juice. Julia Roberts, Sean Penn, right? That's pretty cool. And Johnny Carson's former estate is for sale, which is nice that they use that. Now, what else? What does this sale tell us about the Malibu market? I like that. I don't know that I would change very much on this one as I'm reading this because I actually wouldn't have even thought of that. Damn it. That's actually a really good one. This is a great question that's asked often out here. Okay, I like this. So far, I like it. And then the key to this for AEO is FAQ. It loves FAQ. Now, it's loved FAQ for the last 6, 8 months. It may change, but for now, it loves FAQs. So you end it with FAQ, and then I don't know why it loves this, but it loves a summary of this, of like who I am, which is weird to me. But it has a summary of me, right? So let it, and then don't put the notes in. That's just for me, okay? Don't do that. End it right here, your summary for you. And then if you're going to use this on Substack, check out how fast Substack is if you're thinking of just going to Substack. I'm going to go to my dashboard. I'm going to create an article. We're going to try to speed through it just to show you how fast you can do this. We got this title, subtitle. We're not going to use one because it didn't give me one, but the quick version, I'm going to edit that really quick. And I'm going to put, I'm going to just put summary instead on my end. Summary right here, summary. And then I'm going to go back over here. And then I'm going to grab all of this. The assumption is I read it and I tweaked it a little bit. And I'm going to dump it right there. And it's ready to go. I actually don't mind publishing this, even though it's not, I usually do wider news, like wider national news, not so specific. But I'm going to test this out and see how it does. I'm going to go ahead and publish it. Audience, everyone, allow comments, everyone, select tags. I have different tags for things I talk about, homes, housing, real estate. It's like, it's kind of like, what, there was one that I wanted. Where is it? Nope. All right, we'll keep it like that. Send via email to everybody that subscribes to my stuff. Yeah, they'll get it in their email. And then scheduling, no, I'm not going to schedule it. I'm going to send it to everybody. Now, as soon as I send it to everybody, it's going to give me a choice. It's going to say, Tristan, you should publish this to social media on stories. And they do a really good job. Not this elongated version. They suck at it. But this one, I always love this one. Like, they already grabbed the headline and I can put it on a story. And on the story, I could simply grab this link and it sends people to it. And it does. People click on it. So now that it's live, I would go back to my published notes, and here it is. Then I could start seeing how many opened it, total views, all that, which will happen very shortly. Here's what it looks like, and there are all the rest of the ones I've done. So let me go back now to the article. This is the article that it published. Let me go back to now projects. If I go to Malibu blogging, there it is. Now I can keep on creating more content daily, quickly. But I'm not done yet because this is where we stop, remember? So I'm going to just grab this. I'm like, you know what? You created this. This is amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, give me a 60-second teleprompter script for this and use natural language. Have it ready to copy paste and give me a strong, irresistible hook and hook people every 15 seconds. So now it's going to give me, I'll grab that and give
Are
it
you
to you.
recording in Riverside or do you have a different tool that you prefer?
Let me put that into the chat. There you go. Hold on. Candace, Perplexity computer is different than Perplexity. I'll show you in a few seconds. No, a record, this 60-second one, I would record on my phone and I'll show you exactly what I'll do live, okay? So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to copy, done. While I'm copying it, I want to just make a headline out of it. Give me three powerful, irresistible. You know what? I have a problem spelling irresistible for all my life. Okay, so irresistible headline that I can post on LinkedIn. Make it short and sweet and ask a question that engages people. All right, so now I'm just going to do that. I'm going to stop sharing really quick. I'm going to go to my phone. I'm going to go to an app called Teleprompter. Such a hard name to remember, Teleprompter, right? It actually is called Teleprompter. It's crazy. On the Teleprompter app, this is what it looks like. You see, it just reflects what you're looking at. It's looking at my camera. At the very top, it's got the script. So I would just copy paste that script about Kamala Harris, and let's see if I can do that. So I can select all, paste, and I'm on a Mac, so it'll just transfer everything over. So I can copy paste from my Mac to my phone, save it. So now I'm going to click record. And I'm going to assume I'm looking at it, but as I'm recording, there's a little countdown, and it's going to scroll. And it's towards the top. So that means your eyeballs will be looking at the top. So that means it's recording you just reading. And you just have to get good at reading. And I know it's a challenge sometimes, especially for me. But once that's done, you should be ready to go and upload it. Now, if you're like, Tristan, I messed up so many times, that's okay. Just go to CapCut and just edit. And you just edit out, and now it's ready to go. Now we're going to check on our headline. Where's our headline? What did it come up with? Did it give me a good headline? A former vice president just bought an $8 million. Ooh, I like how it kind of kept it cryptic. I like that headline a lot, right? That's pretty good. That's actually really good. Damn it. I might use that one. Shit. I like it much better than, and I probably would test both, but I like it much better than naming her. Because this one will be like, well, who is it? Right? And if I'm smart, I would put the link to my blog on the first comment after I post the headline. And then there'll be a lot of people will be like, who cares? Right? But it's social media. You're going to get hate. All right? Just be prepared for hate. 3, smart money is important. No, I like 1 a lot. In fact, if I like it a lot, this is what I would do. I would be like, hey, I like number 1 a lot. Let's create a skill to recreate headlines just like this. And you're like, ooh, damn it. That's right. You know what? I actually do like it a lot. I don't know that it got it right the first time ever. Like the headline for number 1. Create a skill like that so you can recreate headlines better. All right, so now it's recreating that. What I would do is I would grab, and because it's creating a headline there, I'm going to grab not the teleprompter, this whole thing, and I'm going to show you one more thing before I let you go. I'm going to grab the core piece to this, and I'm going to share something that works really well right now on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn does amazing when you post, where is this? Plus polls. LinkedIn loves polls. Who knew? I didn't know. It was a friend of mine who said, dude, you should, all those headlines you do, you should put polls. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. And he's right. They engage. It's crazy. Create a LinkedIn poll for this. So now I grabbed the article. Now it's going to, I would have put it on the other one, but it's creating a new skill for me. So I want to just have it here. All right, poll question. I'm just going to assume this is it. All right, go to the question. Boom. I know I lost it. Where did it go? See, when you have so many windows open, now I don't even know where I left it. Is it this one? Yeah, it is. Okay. Let's go to all of them right here. That one. Question number 1. It's too long. I knew it. Smart money sees long-term appreciation. When a high-profile buyer picks a neighborhood, what do you think it signals most about the market? Smart money sees long-term. They see long-term appreciation. I need to tell it to do 30 characters or less, but I'm not going to do that. Let's just grab it. Privacy in life matters more than let's just leave it right there. Boom. Of course, I'm off by 3. Privacy. We're just going to go to privacy matters more. Right here, it's just 1 data point. Don't overly. I like that one. I'm going to go here, post it there, go back. It attracts more high-end buyers. When a high-profile buyer picks a neighborhood, what do you think it signals? Shrink this to 30 characters. Only because I couldn't come up with I'm like, how do I shorten that? Don't worry, your buddy's got you. Draws more luxury buyers. Let's just go there. Add an option. Boom. I'm going to get done. Now I have to put a description at the top, which it did for me. Suggested caption. You know what? We're in a rush today, So we're doing something I don't recommend, and that's just posting without reading. But listen, it's just us. Nobody knows. Okay. So I'm going to post that. Now, here it is. I left it open for 1 week. You can extend it or you can shorten it, but now it's a question. And these perform very well, regardless of how your following is on LinkedIn. So going back to this, did I do that right? Skill, where's my skill? Are you building a skill for me? Is this where I was building that skill? I like headline number 1. I got it. Done. Skills now. Oh, look, it said LinkedIn headline skill. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Did it really build it? Did you do it? Come on. Where is it? I don't see it. You didn't put it there. Oh, let's go back. You just left it there without. Where's the skill, buddy? Where's the skill? Well, look, as it's developing that skill for me, that's all I got for you today. So I want you to show up better. I don't want you to be left behind. I live this daily, so we're in the weeds. And I promise to answer the perplexity one. Let me just show you on my screen. So I pay for the advanced version of Perplexity, which is $200 a month. It eats up your credits like crazy if you use it to build out websites, but there is nothing on the market like Perplexity Max or Perplexity Computer. If you leave it on just Perplexity, it does the normal thing, which is Perplexity. It's great. It's good. It even has skills. Like you can go in here and it has skills, the ability to create skills. But when you click on computer, that's a whole different world. It's a full-on AI agent. And the next stage as to where we're at, you have 2 that can perform at this level. One is Perplexity Computer, and to an extent, the other one is Claude Cowork, but you have to have a Mac and you have to download the app. But we're really close, and I need you to pay attention because if I can spend $200 here a month, and if I go over, which I probably will, and you probably would too, let's say you spend double or triple that because you're using it daily. That's $600 for a full-on admin that has no limitations to create full-on websites, full-on marketing, full-on posting, full-on everything you've ever wanted right here. And for $600, even though it's $200, I don't know that if you're using this well, I don't know that anybody can beat you because it does everything you've ever wanted to. And if you take it one step further, let me see if I can show you. Yeah, perfect. Perplexity has a browser called Comet. It's opening up on my end. It's making like some amazing music. I don't know why. It's like cinematic. Let me see if I can open it. I don't know why it's taking so long. I want you, if you have Perplexity, I want you to allow. Let me just open it up. I'm going to show you. Continue this one. We're going to go with Tristan. Apparently, I had never downloaded it on this computer. So use Comet. Yes, perfect. Okay, good. We're going to use Comet. Here's what Comet does. Comet's a full-on browser like Safari, like Chrome, like Explorer, all that. If I opened up, what can I open up? Facebook. Sure. Of course, I never logged in on Comet, so it's not going to let me. Let's see, open up my Gmail. See what happens when I open up my Gmail. Will it let me? Since I've never, perfect. So I can go here and I can go to the top right. It says assistant, and I would go to assistant and I type in organize my email, right? And then it would be like, okay, I'll organize it. But more importantly, every window that I have open, I could say, do this, do that, and it starts doing it. If you're stuck on, how do I do this on Canva? Don't worry. You got a little buddy that helps you. Hey, how do I do this on Canva? Oh, I got you. Now, it's a little slow, but you have help. Like, can you imagine? You will no longer be stuck. It works in the background. It even says, hey, Tristan, you need to take care of your email better, pretty much is what it's saying. You kind of suck. Let me help you, but how should I help you is what it's saying. So we're really close, everybody. I need you to pay attention because these next few months is where things shift into high gear. And if you're hanging on there, this will make a big difference because all you need to do is hang on a little bit more until the full-on AI agent is there and you have an admin. And then at that point, you have a full-on second brain. You can be like, I don't understand this crap. Can you explain it to me every day for 10 minutes? Yeah, I can do that. Great. Notify me. Great. I'll do that. Oh, yeah. You know what? I just talked to Joe on Follow Up Boss. Can you update the notes? Yeah, I can do that. So we're there. We're there. Any questions, comments,
Thank
concerns?
you.
Maybe not
So
concerns,
great.
but outside of this.
So great. We don't have long enough for that. But I'm just so grateful that you're here. Well, you guys all, I know some of you who've been on here with me before know how important this is. Can you all, guys all just post in the chat really quick the top thing that you got out of this? Probably all of it, but if you have a specific thing so that he can read those and know what is landing for everyone with our amazing group here, that would be awesome. And Tristan, we're just really super grateful for you and your time and how much time you have always focused on equipping people specifically in the real estate industry with everything they need to be ahead of the game. You're just such an amazing human, and we're so glad. So you guys go ahead and share in the chat real quick so he can read that. We will make sure that this gets shared out with the recording with everyone, and also we'll get the chat details of all of the prompts that he highlighted shared in the email recap as well.
There's one other place I should have led with that. But if you're using Claude, let me just grab it. If you're using Claude, I'd recommend you start here. The link I'm about to give you, just scroll to the bottom and then start with Claude 101. It's by Claude. Claude created this. Actually, let me just give you the link. Claude 101, it'll take you through everything. I got sick like 3 weeks ago and they released this. And I was like, yeah. So you know what I did while I was sick? I went through the whole Claude course certification and I was like, damn, I didn't know that was there. So that's where I would start. Claude 101, go at your own pace, slow, but you'll be so far ahead from, I think, 99% of real estate agents if you just go through that, please.
Awesome. Thank you. You have lots of things that people have gotten from you today. Thank you for hanging out with us. We so appreciate you. And if you're not already a part of Labco Agents Facebook group on Facebook, you need to be because he shares so many things and you don't want to miss out. Thank you, Tristan.
Thank you, Saundra. Thanks for having me.
Of
Thanks,
course.
everybody.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
hanging in there.